A lot can happen in a week, some of it good, some of it bad, some of it downright ugly. When faced with intriguing developments in the week's news, we turn to a panel of non-experts to parse the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. On today's panel, Mustafa Tamiz, a media and public affairs consultant and the CEO of Outreach Strategists, and Jennifer Hedaya, the executive director of Airlines Houston. Mustafa, Jen, hello there.
Good morning.
Good to be back. Friday. As we discussed earlier this week on this program, Houston Mayor John Whitmire is proposing an administrative fee tied to garbage and recycling pickup. It's starting at $5 a month for the first 2 years, and the fee would gradually ramp up to $25 a month. With about 400,000 customers receiving solid waste services from the city, a $25 monthly fee would more than cover the department's budget of about $100 million. Many major cities in Texas already have garbage pickup fees, some of them much higher than those numbers. A potential garbage pickup fee for Houston residents, is this good, bad, or ugly? Mustafa, I'll start with you.
Surprisingly good. I say that because, the city's budget, $7.5 billion, half of it's general fund, 60% is police and fire. We've seen a rise in costs in our contract with the police environment, and that means that the overtime, it actually costs us more too, right? So you're entering in a space where there's a lot more cost. We have a revenue cap, a property tax cap that doesn't allow us to break that. So the city is somewhat constrained, and I think the mayor's looking for ways to make up that budget shortfall. And, cities like Dallas charge like $38 per month. Katy charges, Texas City charges like $24 a month, right? So we're the only largest city that does not have the garbage fee. So in a way, I don't like it. No one wants to pay more, but I do want my trash to be picked up, and I do want all of the other things that come along with it. So, okay, I'll say yes.
We're used to paying for things, aren't we, in this country?
Yep.
Jen?
Okay, true story, and I promise it's relevant. So a couple of years ago, my organization took air tags, put them into plastic waste, and dropped them at all of the city's municipal drop-off sites. We were trying to find out if the city's so-called all plastics recycling program actually worked. And spoiler alert, it didn't and it doesn't. We tagged plastic multiple times over many years, dropped them in every municipal drop-off site there is in the city, and it's all just being stockpiled. It's not being recycled. And the city's never explained why this is happening, but they keep funding it. So throughout the process, I ended up digging pretty deep on recycling history in Houston, landfill capacity, the impact on air pollution, and false solutions that get talked about a lot, like advanced recycling. And the one thing I feel for certain is Houston's solid waste management situation, including recycling, is definitely ugly. I think we can all agree with that. And I think a garbage fee on Houstonians could also be ugly if it's not done in the right way. And what I mean by that is, so number one, the revenue should in no way support false waste management solutions like advanced recycling. It's already been a waste of taxpayer dollars. And number two, where the fee goes should be explicitly outlined to and only to solid waste management, as my panelists referenced. It should not be used to fill gaps in other budget line items like law enforcement overtime.
There's some concern that calling it administrative fee
exactly lets it go anywhere in that case. And I think last but not least, there has to be some consideration to the stark economic differences in our city. There are some very wealthy parts of Houston that are having their trash pickup subsidized by the city. There are some very resource challenged homes in our city for whom $5 a month could be impactful. So I do tend to agree that the garbage fee could be good, but I think it remains to be seen if those conditions will be in place to keep it from being ugly, especially for those Houstonians who can't afford it.
Panel, we're used to hearing how divided American politics are these days, but there is one subject many of us apparently do agree on. Congress is too old. 8 in 10 Americans are in favor of setting age caps as well as term limits for members of Congress. That's according to the latest NPR PBS News Marist poll. That sentiment extends across many backgrounds and party lines. NPR reports the poll found that 78% of Democrats support both age caps and term limits, while 83% of Republicans backed maximum age limits, and nearly 9 in 10 supported term limits. This is all hypothetical at the moment, by the way. Neither limit is being seriously considered by Congress at the moment. Setting age caps along with term limits for members of Congress, something a vast majority of Americans apparently support. Is this good, bad, or ugly? Jen, I'll start with you.
I don't know. As the story says, age limits on elected officials has been a topic of conversation for a long time. Term limits even longer. I'm not surprised in our current political context that these polls are the highest they've ever been. Right, wrong, or indifferent, good, bad, or ugly, the age of our president has been a topic of conversation for a decade. But polls rarely dictate policy. If they did, then according to some polling that literally came out this morning, we would have a functioning ICE ordinance by now. So I think if this is truly how Americans feel, it's probably ultimately bad because nothing is going to come of it. I could be wrong, but I don't foresee those folks in a position to change this policy, making a policy that would literally put them out of work.
We could come up with this companion segment for this called Right, Wrong, or Indifferent.
There we go. I'm up for that.
Leading into Good, Bad, and Ugly. Good, Bad, or Ugly, Mustafa?
Good. I'm a little reluctant across the board. Look, I think if we had a poll that said throw the bums out, it'd be 10 out of 10 Americans, right? Like, I mean, that's basically where we are. That's the state of the play that we're at. California has done a lot of this stuff, everything from redistricting boards to rank ballots to term limits in their legislature. Mixed reviews, right? Like mixed reviews, because everything is a reaction to things that we don't like. Politicians look too old. We want an age limit. People stay too long. We want a term limit. But they have consequences too. When you have term limits, sometimes you get the entrenched lobby apparatus to be more powerful than the electeds because they are there for a longer period of time, right? And so there's a lot of this stuff. I think the bigger thing we need a reawakening of civic participation in our country, right? We need to be paying attention, like Jennifer talked about, like knowing what is this garbage fee? Where does it go? Like these types of things that affect our life, we have to be more engaged in. Unfortunately, it's gotten so ugly, so partisan that it's icky. You don't want to watch the news anymore because you're like, ooh, I better turn on the volume because kids are listening, right? I mean, this is the state of the play right now. We want to lower the volume during the news because we're afraid what might be said might be too much for our kids to hear. That means that we have the wrong crowd in governance across the board. And we have to change the tenor because in order to change what we're watching on television, we at our dinner tables have to change. We have to get more engaged. We have to hold people accountable, but we have to do it in a thoughtful way, not a reactionary way.
How wonderful would it be if, 7 out of 8 Americans in this poll turned into 7 out of 8 registered voters voted? I mean, that's really the numbers I think we would all like to see.
And I would just say this. I think the bigger issue is that elections are being decided in primaries. I think that is the bigger issue rather than the age, rather than the term limits. But we're letting a very small group of Americans, whether you agree with those Americans or don't agree with those Americans, decide on who represents us. So it's not really representative government if only 2% of us are deciding who's going to end up in that office.
And to your point earlier, it sounds like, humans being who they are, or the way they are, that if we had these limits and all of our representatives were much younger, then in a few years we'd all be grumpy about, they're too young.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
As I'm getting older, I'm kind of in that mode.
Yes, the curmudgeon starts emerging from us all. Speaking of curmudgeons and grumpiness, the experience of flying, as always, has been like this. Panel, a recent Southwest Airlines flight from Oakland, California to San Diego was delayed more than an hour. That's because of an unusual passenger, a robot. An employee from a company called Elite Event Robotics actually purchased a ticket for a 4-foot-tall, 70-pound robot named Bebop. and brought Bebop, I was going to say it, he, she, I don't know, Bebop, aboard the plane. Its presence, surprisingly, not surprisingly, caused the flight to be delayed, but not initially because it was a robot, but because it being in an aisle seat violated the airline's policy for large carry-on items. Did it carry itself onto the plane? That's a good question. So Bebop was moved to a window seat, so we solved that problem. But then a second issue was noticed. Concern over Bebop's lithium battery, which was found to be larger than the maximum allowed by Southwest Airlines policy. Once the battery was removed, the plane was finally able to depart, but just over an hour behind schedule. The company, which rents out its robots for appearances at various events, said Bebop will continue to fly commercial, but without its batteries installed. An unusual airline passenger causes a flight delay. Is this good, bad, or ugly, Mustafa? Hesitant all morning.
This is the best headline ever.
Poor Bebop. He's sitting there minding his own business, and the next thing, something like, Bebop, you're not a human being. Move to the window. Then he moves to the window, and then
haven't they done that to all of us?
Took it out his battery. Right? I'm glad, by the way, lithium batteries should not be on planes.
Fair.
What a
PSA.
What a dehumanizing moment for Bebop.
Yeah, reached inside, took his damn battery out, and it boop, boop, boop. Right? I mean, he just went under.
He was able to get to sleep on the airplane, which is always was hard.
Well, he couldn't snore because he couldn't hear it, right? Battery down. But look, I mean, I think we're going to hear more and more of these things.
Yep.
And across the board, it's the automation of automation. AI is the automation of automation, and then when you combine it with like a robotic thing, then we're going to see this kind of rise in it. So, I'm for that. I think that's some great opportunity. I'm not the one that's seeing that as a decline of human civilization by having robots. Like, have the robots let them do some of the stuff that we don't want to do, but at the same time, right? Imagine the guy or the gal that's sitting there trying to get to a business meeting and a freaking robot got in the way.
You roll your eyes about being seated next to an annoying passenger, a baby. Oh, a robot. I think as robots become more part of our lives and realistic, we're going to start seeing more moments where they have to experience how much it sometimes sucks being a human, which they should. They should have to experience that, the annoyance of having to flying, what it's like to fly and deal with airline delays, sometimes cause them. Jen, good, bad, or ugly?
Oh, I live for headlines like this. I just think it's delightful. And if you watch the video of Bebop, so Bebop dances, and he's just so goofy and awkward. I just had a moment where, yes, if robot is human and human is robot, I just feel like there's a little bit of Bebop in all of us. But I do have some questions about Bebop. So, like, number one, how did he go through security? Did they
Right.
put him on the did he go through the x-ray machine on the conveyor? Did they pat him down? And then number two, why is Southwest Airlines not immediately making this their new advertising campaign? Why are they not already officially the carrier of Bebop and paint him on their planes and have him in videos in the waiting room? I just think it absolutely writes itself. So, I have had delays far longer than an hour flying, and I was not given the entertainment of a humanoid robot for my trouble. So I look forward to seeing Bebop on my next flight.
All right, if you sit next to Bebop, be ready. Mustafa Tamiz is a media and public affairs consultant and CEO of Outreach Strategist. Jennifer Hedaya is executive director of Airlines Houston. Guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Boop, bop,
Oh
beep,
my
beep, beep.